Thank you very much, Mr. Madhu. Thank you very much, President Mr. Prakash. When I spoke to Mr. Madhu a month ago, he fixed the date, 15th of July, and said, definitely you are there on 15th of July. I have been to 21 Rotary clubs and Lions Club in Chennai since I came over here. I must compliment him. He is the only Rotarian who gave the subject to all the members of Rotary Club by sending it. So when I saw the message of his, I knew this gentleman, I didn't know his background. I knew he was an experienced guy who knows more about not only drugs, more about what's happening around the world. So my compliments to Mr. Madhu for being a very good coordinator for the Rotary Club, and wish you many more years of coordination in activities at Rotary Club. So when I told him that my presentation might exceed 30 minutes, he said, stick to 30 minutes. So I have stuck to 30 minutes. I may exceed 1 or 2 minutes because I'm going to talk about the mafia and drug addict true happenings. What you see on the screen is going to be true incidents in life of the mafia leaders and true incident in life of what happened to drug addicts. So for the next half an hour, 15 minutes on the mafia and 15 minutes on the drug addict. So next one please. So the global drug trade and addiction is exploding. It's like a balloon. You squeeze at one end, it blows out the other end. And today, the drug mafia, with their sophistication and globalization, has sent their tentacles all over the world. And when I joined Interpol in 85, it's very easy. The mafia was identified. That is 85. In 2014, one doesn't know who the mafia is. So we are living in a world where the mafia is unseen, unheard of, and unknown. Next one. So the global criminality, the drugs, all of you know the drugs that are prevalent today, the narcotic drugs, the 4 types of drugs. Heroin, it never went away. It's the most abused hard drug in the world. Next comes cocaine, which is now becoming very popular in several countries, including Asian countries. Then comes the new synthetic drugs. This is hitting the youth, young people are getting hooked to these synthetic drugs. Then comes last part, it's a gateway drug. Everybody knows what it is. It's cannabis, it's called hashish, it's called cannabis, it's called marijuana. In India we call it ganja. So all the narcotic businessmen started ganja. They get a diploma in ganja and then they go for MBA to other drugs. So today, if the drug mafia is involved, they involve in all 4 types: heroin, cocaine, synthetic drugs, and cannabis. So the global criminality is exploding thanks to what has happened in the last 25 years. Too much has happened too quickly. Then the Cold War, new countries, political social upheaval, global free trade, transport revolution, global electronic banking, technology. Thanks to these factors, the global criminality is exploding and expanding. So you can see the drug crime is the only crime in the whole world where the victim doesn't complain. You take case of rape, case of murder, case of pickpocket, or case of mobile theft, there's a victim. Here too there's a victim, but this guy doesn't complain. He's a drug addict, he wants the drugs. That is one of the reasons why the mafia is doing very well, because they know there's a demand for drugs all over the world and they are pushing the drugs, and the victim who is a drug addict doesn't complain. So that is where the problem is, result of drug addiction. Yeah. So the United Nations meets once a year. The United Nations in New York, all the political leaders, Prime Minister, President, all go there once a year. They discuss all the world problems. Terrorism, narcotics, everything. When it comes to narcotics, they discuss supply action, control the chemicals that make drugs, disrupt delivery routes, identify the drug mafia, identify the money launderer, and demand action. So the 2 important subjects are supply action, demand action. Less demand, less supply. More demand, more supply. The best example was President Clinton. When the President of USA in 2000, the Colombian cocaine was flooding the US market. He rang up the President of Colombia. 80% of the world's cocaine comes from Colombia. He rang up the President of Colombia, President Pastrana, and told him, Mr. Pastrana, if you don't stop the supply of cocaine from your country, my country, I'm going to bomb your country. He says, sir, please stop the demand in your country, there will be no supply. Now, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Both are right. Clinton was right. Pastrana, President of Colombia, was right. But unfortunately, there's no political will. And today, the country of Obama, United States, is the biggest market for drugs. So it is a sad state of affairs, the United States is concerned. If that is the biggest market for drugs, it is the country of Mr. Obama, the United States of America. So today, heroin, those of you are very familiar with the chemistry. For 10 kilos of opium, you get 1 kilo of morphine, and 1 kilo of morphine, you get 1 kilo of heroin. This is the chemistry. And today it's done 10 kilos opium, 1 kilo morphine, 1 kilo morphine. So those of you know, this is not the morphine that is used for cancer patients. This is a crude form of morphine produced in laboratories in Afghanistan and various countries. You can choose your neighbors, but you can't choose your friends. You can choose your neighbors, but you can't choose your friends. Unfortunately, India. The neighbors, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar, China, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives. So you are surrounded in the subcontinent by neighbors, some of them causing problems to you, some of them you cause problems to them. So very unfortunate that India is very vulnerable. And today, drugs are coming into India and moving out of India. And nobody knows exactly the addict population in India because it's a vast continent. So Afghanistan is sick man of Asia. 80% of the heroin that goes to the international market goes in Afghanistan. 80% of cocaine that goes in the market goes in Colombia. And according to the United Nations report, there are 200,000 opium farmers. That's only the most valuable cash crop in Afghanistan is opium. 200,000 opium farmers. And there are two sons of the family. One son joins the father in cultivating opium. Other son joins the militia, Taliban or Al-Qaeda. So in Afghanistan, one country, there is no unemployment. Either you join the father and cultivate opium or join the Taliban or Al-Qaeda. Well looked after. So it's very unfortunate. Afghanistan remains a sick man of Asia and the largest producer of heroin that goes to the international market from Afghanistan. So the international mafia got Afghanistan as the source of the international drug trafficking. So you go into Afghanistan. I have been to Kandahar province with a team. We walked into a house. As soon as we walked into the house, a young boy came with the AK-47. The American soldier told him, dismantle the AK-47. He dismantled it in 15 minutes and reassembled it in 15 minutes. So Afghanistan, all the children are born with a gun culture. And fortunately in India, there's a cricket culture. So let us promote the cricket. Let us have more cricket bats and less AK-47. That is my message here. Next one. So you can see all the drugs from Afghanistan is moving. It's by air, by sea. It ends up here in this part of the world. USA and European countries are the biggest market for drugs. All the drugs that come from different parts of the world either end up in North America or end up in Europe. And today Europe is one of the biggest market. And heroin from Afghanistan ends up in the European market. Next one. So the Berlin Wall was dismantled in 1989. I was in Paris. It was a day of rejoice. November 11, 1989 is a landmark in the history of the world, the end of communism. Everybody was I was in Paris that day, Eiffel Tower decorated, everybody was so happy. End of communism means freedom. But immediately notice, free movement of people, capital goods, east to west and east to west and west to east. That was 1989. Today, you speak to officers in Germany and France, they say, we lived in hope in 89, today we live in fear. I said, what's the problem? Yes. The mafia from this part of the world has come over here. And today, every country in Western Europe, that's a mafia group from Eastern Europe, controlling various activities in Western Europe. So it's a very sad state of affairs in Western Europe today. So it's crime without frontiers. It is stolen cars. When I joined Interpol in 85, one mafia will deal with stolen cars, one mafia will counter currency, one mafia with prostitution, one mafia with arms trafficking. Today, the same mafia will do everything. Same mafia. To give you the best time, I give just one example of what the mafia does. All of you know the Albania and Greece are adjoining countries on the Mediterranean coast, Albania. The Minister of Interior of Albania, the case study from Interpol, the Minister of Interior from Albania was going in a Mercedes-Benz car XL 5000 to see the Minister of Interior in Athens, the counterpart. He was going in a car, Mercedes-Benz car XL 5000, which is one of the best Mercedes-Benz cars. There is a checkpost between Albania and Greece, the Schengen Interpol checkpost. We check all the vehicles. When this particular vehicle was checked, they found it as a stolen vehicle. The minister was going in a stolen vehicle. Immediately the message was passed on to Interpol database in Lyon. An Interpol database, when they checked the detail, found the car had been stolen by an Albanian mafia from a business tycoon in Rome, taken to Albania and sold it to the government. And the government gave it to the minister. So I just give one example. That means the mafia is working with the government. So good example. The mafia is working with government in several countries in Central Europe and Eastern Europe. True case. I'm giving only true cases. Here, Giovanni Falcone, he is one of the famous Italian anti-mafia judge. Any mafia cases go before him, you can be sure 10 years or 15 years. He held the largest mafia trial in the history of Italy in 1999. 452 accused were lined up. He sentenced them to 25 years, 30 years. The total sentences of the 452 are 2,500 years. Next day, newspaper said, the greatest mafia trial is over in Italy. There will be no more mafia in Italy. And 2 days later, he went and told his chief justice, his boss, my mother is very ill in Paloma. I had to see her. So the chief justice said, well, you're very vulnerable. The mafia, you sentence all the mafia leaders to jail. They've been watching you, be very careful. He said, I have to see my mother who's very ill in Paloma. He said, okay, I'll get you a special flight to Paloma in Sicily. There'll be a special armored plated car at the airport to take you. Go and see your mother, spend 2 hours, get into the car and come back. So he followed the instructions. He went to the airport, got in the car, went to the mother's house. As he parked the car at the mother's house, bombed. He was bombed. He died, his wife died, and security guards died. The #1 mafia judge in Italy was bombed by the mafia who were already in jail. So I'm just giving you how they planned the whole. That some information has gone out to the mafia that this gentleman was going to Paloma, and they bumped him off. And next day the newspaper said, if this can happen to the chief mafia judge, are we safe in Italy? So this is the story, late 90s in Italy about the activities of mafia. Russian mafia. With the fall of communism, the Russian mafia moved out of Russia. Everybody moved out. All the monies they had, collected money, they moved. They are very active. There is no country in the world the Russian mafia not active. Last year I went to Interpol. I tried to talk to the guy in charge of the Russian mafia. I said, open up the file. He started with Goa, India. Goa, India. He said it's one of the best places for the Russian mafia. They have frauds, estate property, prostitution, drugs, you name anything, Russian mafia. And so much so, the Russian mafia is today extremely active. I was addressing the Interpol General Assembly in Berlin 4 years ago. They invited me to talk about the mafia. All the police chiefs are present in the conference. All the police chiefs. So I addressed it for the mafia. The Russian police chief was there when I spoke to him. I put this particular chart. He raised his hand and said, you are very correct. He agreed. As I walked out, there were a lot of press people who wanted to interview me. And one fellow came and said, sir, can you tell me something of the Russian mafia? I'm a Russian journalist, I want to know something of Russian mafia. I said, I cannot give you sensitive information, but I can give you general information. I said, why are you so much interested? Sir, I came to follow the Interpol General Assembly in Berlin for the last 1 week. Next week I go to Moscow, the international mafia is having a conference in a hotel in Mava. So I want to compare notes. I said, I am not there to give you notes to compare. But that shows the international mafia is also having general assemblies. You know, the international police having general assemblies with all the police chiefs. Those guys are also getting together discussing counter strategy. So that is the mafia activities in today's world. So today, the mafia is very clever. It's like running a Microsoft. Suppose you want 1 kilo of heroin, you get this particular number, press 1. Suppose you want to buy arms, AK-47, press 2. You want some transfer money to Dubai, $50,000, press 4. Suppose you want a special request, wait for the operator. Same style. The mafia is operating on the same style. And we at Interpol have got several numbers, telephone numbers. When the Interpol calls the numbers, they know somebody is watching them. They cancel the number, they get on to something else. So the mafia is extremely clever. They operate with the globalization, with the technology. They are extremely powerful and very competent. So you can see the drugs all moving out of this part of the world, coming to Europe by air, by sea, and end up in the European market. So it can be courier, it can be airline, it can be sea, but finally the markets are Western Europe and America. Next one please. One more. They end up in, the last 6 months, the new cases, very new case. I just want to interest all of you, the new modus operandi. Here's a Canadian woman, she goes to Colombia. At the airport in Bogota, they watch all the tourists coming here. They look around for very vulnerable people and say, you help us, we give you $10,000, you get another $10,000 on destination. So this girl, is a Canadian girl, these are my Interpol case studies, Canadian girl, she was enticed by the mafia in Bogota and told, all you have to do is You had to carry, you look like a fake dummy, fake pregnant girl, but you had to carry a plaster 5 kilos of cocaine. Very nice done. She said, you get $5,000 at the entry point and you get another $10,000 when you go to Toronto. Now the mafia selects a Canadian girl to travel from Colombia to Canada. If a Colombian woman goes, she'll be suspected. So this girl goes, comes to Toronto airport, and the Toronto customs, a woman was very smart. She touched her tummy and found it very hot. He said, what's wrong with you? He said, I'm pregnant. You're not pregnant. Come to a side. They found that these are well plastered 5 kilos of cocaine to look that she was pregnant. So the typical case where the mafia uses people to do this. So it's just a 1 or 2 cases. Here a Nigerian traveled from Lagos to London. When he arrived there, he was on a wheelchair. Then they thought, the customs were very suspicious of the way. He said, come to a side. He said, no sir, I'm coming for a surgery in London. They found he had no surgery. He was having a false leg and cocaine was all inside his plaster. So typical MO is used by mafia just to get over the customs and get through the airport. True case happened in Delhi. I don't know how many of you are. A British girl, this happened in National Geographic magazine, a British girl, Claire Matthews, she came from London to India on a holiday. Before she came to India, she met a contact man who told her, you want to have a good holiday in India? Goa, Calcutta, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bombay, everywhere. We'll give you the money, but you have to help us. All you need to is send a parcel. We have got a contact in Delhi. He'll give you a parcel, a courier parcel. You post it to us in London. Next day, Hawala Bank, you get 1 lakh. So she sent 3 parcels through courier. And 4th parcel, again hashish, Nepalese hashish, inside. It was inside Lord Ganesh. Give the courier man to send it. Courier man got suspicious. 3 times she has come and given parcels. He kept the parcel, said, I am sending it, come tomorrow. Then he opened the parcel to find hashish. He called the Delhi customs and police. They came in and said, keep it with you. When the woman comes again, call us. She came back next day and said, you are not posted it. Police and customs called, she was arrested. And she had been doing this for the last 1 month. She had made about 4 lakhs. Arrested, convicted in the High Court of Delhi, 5 years jail. The British High Commission intervened, saying there's a teacher from London to use compassionate, and it was reduced for 3 years. So she was reduced 3 years and released from jail. She went back to London and wrote a book on TRJ. she didn't talk about the hashish party, she wrote a book on TRJ, and said something about politicians being there and various things like that. And nothing about the hashish smuggling. So what I meant to say is, tourists come to India, do all types of things. When they get back, they do something else. So swallowing is very accepted. Swallowing is the most risky thing, but Nigerian and Colombians are trained to swallow. There are training schools in Nigeria and Colombia, according to Interpol reports, to train swallowers. If you can swallow, they look for 20 to 32-year age group, men and women, Nigeria and Colombia. They are trained to swallow 100 grapes and 100 cubes of ice every 10 minutes. So they keep on swallowing. 1 hour you keep swallowing, you get then they identify a good swallower, then you get a passport. $5,000, fly to Amsterdam, fly to Bombay, fly to London, fly to New York. And invariably, a Nigerian and Colombian are the best swallowers. And they take the drugs and they fly out. Hopefully, only instruction given by the mafia, don't eat on the flight. But 3 months ago, a Tanzanian guy coming from Dar es Salaam, when he arrived in Bombay with drugs, he had rubber balloons or condoms. But on the flight, as you know, in the flight you are given free drinks. He drank, he didn't follow the instructions. He drank and ate. So when he arrived at Bombay, he collapsed in the customs. Then the customs asked me, he said, I got diarrhea. Rushed to hospital, his intestines had burst. Intestine burst, operated, he died. So he didn't follow the instructions of the mafia, not to eat. All swallowers are told, when you swallow something, don't eat. You eat only after you push it out at the point of destination, which is instruction given by the mafia. So, and this is an Australian woman. From Kuala Lumpur, she was flying to Sydney, Australia. The Chinese mafia used an Australian woman to take the drugs to Australia. If they use a Chinese, you get caught. This woman was asked to take, she had swallowed rubber balloons with heroin. Unfortunately, when she came to customs, she got a severe pain. The customer got strong and he said, I got a severe pain, rushed to hospital. Opened up, the intestines had burst because the rubber condoms had burst. She died. But in Malaysia, as you know, laws are very strict. And this is a true case of an Australian woman who died after taking an overdose of drugs. So, the mafia is ruthless. Ruthless in the sense that they've used. A Colombian woman was used. The Colombian woman, a poor woman, mother of 5 children, was told, look here, you can take the drugs, you get a lot of money. She was taken to a private hospital and told, small surgery. After surgery, you rest for 1 day. So what they did was, 2 kilos of cocaine was implanted on her abdomen. Closed up, she went to New York. And the instruction was that somebody will meet you at the airport, take you to a private hospital, open up, and then the drugs will be taken out and you will be sent back. Unfortunately for her, at the airport she collapsed. The doctors had called in, doctor said that something very bad infection on her. Taken to a hospital, she died and found 1.5 kilos of cocaine implanted in the body. So this is mafia. The mafia is so ruthless, they use human beings by implanting drugs in their body. The same mafia, you sent 4 dogs to Amsterdam, Bogota. The dogs arrived at Amsterdam airport, they collapsed. Immediately the customs officers called the veterinary surgeon. They said something wrong with all the 4 dogs. All the 4 dogs are taken to veterinary hospital, implanted with cocaine in plastic bags. At least the woman was able to talk, but the dogs can't talk. So I'm just giving you, the mafia will use men, women, children as long as they make the money. So cocaine. Afghanistan is the largest producer of heroin. It goes out. Colombia is the largest producer of cocaine. 80% of the world's cocaine comes from Colombia. And the first man who started the business, cocaine business in Colombia, a man called Pablo Escobar. The CNN network called him the cocaine of America. The BBC called him Prince of Darkness. The piece of meddling where he operated called him Robin Hood. He built hospitals, he built schools, he built roads, he gave taxis to everybody. He was an honored man, but he was a killer. He killed magistrates, he killed police officers, he killed informants. He was a killer and he was considered one of the richest men in the Forbes magazine. One of the richest men working in America. One of the richest men. It took Interpol and FBI about 5 to 10 years. Finally in a shootout he was killed in an encounter. Like in India encounter, he was killed in an encounter. His funeral was the largest ever attended funeral in Colombia. Mafia. The largest ever attended funeral in 1998. A Colombian police officer, a good friend of mine, spoke to me 6 months ago. He said he went to Colombia and he went to Pablo Escobar's village. He went to the graveyard. He said after 14 years there are still flowers every morning. Mafia, but still he respected because he was a godfather. He helped all the poor people to win. So that is, next one please. That is Pablo Escobar. As soon as Pablo Escobar shot dead, the Americans said, Pablo Escobar is dead, end of the cocaine era. End of a king doesn't mean end of a kingdom. Within 2 months, 2 other brothers, Cali Carter, Gilbert Rodriguez, Gilbert Rodriguez and Miguel Rodriguez, they started a cartel. They elect Microsoft. They are the best international bankers. They are the best maritime experts. They are the best international lawyers. They are all these people on a big operation on a ship on the Pacific Ocean. Americans searching all over the world. They knew that Cali cartel was doing the biggest expansion cocaine. Gilbert Rodriguez and Miguel Rodriguez, 2 brothers. But the Americans didn't know where they were. Finally, on a tip-off, they were arrested on board the ship in the Pacific Ocean. Taken to Florida, today they are in jail. That is Miguel Rodriguez and his brother, Gilbert Rodriguez. They were held. Immediately after they were arrested, American papers gave a lot of media report about the death of the Cali cartel, the arrest of the Cali cartel. The Mexicans started saying, so why should we allow the Colombian to do business? Why can't we take over the business? And the Mexicans took over the business. Today, the Mexicans are the biggest drug traffickers of cocaine, smuggling from Mexico into USA. And one of the famous Mexican was a man called Carlos Fuentes. He was Interpol's wanted man. Most wanted man was Carlos Fuentes. Year 2001, the Americans said our most wanted man is Osama bin Laden. Please put him number 1, you can put others number 2, number 3. So Osama bin Laden became number 1, Carlos Fuentes became number 2. And all the posters were printed and posted all over the world. In Mexico, all the railway stations, post offices, hospitals, they had the photograph. Osama bin Laden, Carlos Fuentes. At that point of time, Carlos Fuentes got worried. He got worried that now his photograph is everywhere in Mexico. He got worried. He summoned his advisors and said, something must be done because I am now getting known in Mexico. So one chap said, sir, you better do plastic surgery on your face. You do plastic surgery face. What is the photograph of the poster is different to your actual life. So he agreed. He said, get me the best hospital in Mexico City, midnight operation, get me the best plastic surgeon, but the plastic surgeon should not know who the patient is. Done. 12 midnight operation is done. Unfortunately, he died on the table. Operation successful, patient died. He died. And the mafia not They told doctor, you had a very good job, please come with us. Took the doctor outside the hospital. In a barrel of boiling oil, they put the doctor inside. Famous plastic surgeon. Then has gone. Next day, Interpol was informed. Colonel Fuentes is dead. We didn't want to believe. We thought Mexican police are trying to fight him because it's a false. We asked the Mexican police, please send all the fingerprints posters. And I remember telling the Mexican officer, get the funeral photograph of this fellow. They sent this photograph. Then we found on the face, the plastic surgery done on his face indicated that he's the actual Colonel Fuentes dead and gone. So, all of you know the story of Alibaba and the 40 thieves. Alibaba can be inside, the 40 thieves are outside, business goes on. And today, the Mexicans are the biggest players in drugs. And today, cocaine smuggling has come to stay, not only North America, whole of Europe. And today, it's the most expensive drug and easily available to everybody, both continents. So expanding, it has come to Asia, it has come to Europe from Colombia, it has come to every country in the whole world today is talking about cocaine abuse. It has come to India. Nobody talks what's happening in India. But it has come to India, and today cocaine, I would say, heroin was once most abused hard drug. Today cocaine is equally abused hard drug. Maritime shipping, you name everything. The mafia is so clever. Go fast boats, yachts, fishing trawlers, containers, everything. And the Mexican and the Colombian mafia, when they found the Americans are searching every ship, every yacht was searched, they went to Russia, bought some old tanks, Russian tanks, submarines. They took the submarines to Colombia and they started going underwater. Americans are there searching over the water. The Colombians went underwater, taking all the drugs on the submarines. And after 10 years, the Americans realized that submarines, old submarines are being used for transporting cocaine from Colombia into USA. So Americans were pretty late in the business. But submarines also continue. So every form of maritime shipping is used by the smugglers to take the drugs. Next one. So this is cannabis. This is everybody knows ganja. We call it ganja, as Mr. Madhu says. It's very popular in India. Nobody talks. It has been going on for years together. But they appear to be nowhere. Every country is talking about. America, they are legalized medical marijuana. Every country in the world. Press again, please. Very soon, every country in the world, this one drug that is prevalent in every country. Very soon, somebody is going to Mars. You can be sure on the first flight there will be a lot of Nigerians to go there and start up business. The Nigerians are very good businessmen. They will go to the Mars and start the drug business first. So, drug business will continue, particularly cannabis and hashish will continue for years to come. So, this is the new drug menu. Hooked. All the young people all over the world are being hooked to this. The youth culture is merging the drug culture. And the drugs that are missing it, amphetamines, ecstasy, methamphetamine, all these drugs are coming to stay. And all young people are being hooked to this. It has come to India, nobody talks except the fact that some research programs are going on, but a lot of people are getting addicted to this sort of drugs. So Asia, no country can be spared. China produces, all goes to Japan, South Korea. Every country in Asia, there is a big methamphetamine problem. Take Thailand, 5% of the Thai population are addicted to synthetic drugs. 5%. Bargers, port workers, airline employees. So Thailand is pretty bad. They say 5% of the population addicted to drugs in Thailand, particularly synthetic drugs. So ecstasy. Ecstasy, as all of you know, is a drug. Very popular in nightclubs. In European nightclubs, all the young people go to, whether it's London, Dublin, Amsterdam, Paris, or when they go to nightclubs on Friday or Saturday, one drug that is popular is ecstasy. Very popular. And very popular in all the discos and nightclubs. So these are the, you can see the market. Drug market is money. If you want to make money, drug business. I said one tablet of ecstasy in Amsterdam is $1. The same ecstasy tablet in New York is $30. An Israeli mafia, they carry 100,000 tablets to New York and they make millions of dollars. And nobody talks about it. Because once you go, you have to be lucky only once. You go through, you have made $1 million. So ecstasy tablet is very popular. And today, the drug business all over the world is running into billions. And the man who makes the money is the drug mafia. He makes the money. And today, unfortunately, the international mafia, with their financial resources at their hand, were able to buy over the corrupt and in between the honest. It's happening in several countries where corruption is rampant. They buy over the corrupt and interview the honest. We had a conference on the Mexican border about 5 years ago, meeting the Mexican police chiefs who are in charge of the border security between USA and Mexico to discuss with him what should be done. He had a meeting and I was there on behalf of the Interpol. We asked the Mexican police chief in charge of border security, how do you stop smuggling? He said, good question. The mafia tells my security guards, do you want dollars or do you want bullets? Do you want dollars or do you want bullets? And my poor security guard is the father of 5 children. He says, give me dollars. So the Mexican police chief said, Mr. Interpol, have I answered your question? The answer. So today, the country of Obama is the biggest market. All the trucks are crossing the border across Mexico because money talks. And these are money. Mafia, unknown, unseen, unheard of. This is a very peculiar washing machine, You put the machine back into this, it comes out white. It's happening also in India. Then it comes, it goes to Swiss bag, secret bag, and nobody knows we are there. The drug mafia, according to Interpol reports, they have never seen drugs. But they make all the money. All the monies are in banks and all over the place. So this is the typical mafia who makes the money and puts the money into different channels thanks to the black becoming white. Next one. So what is happening? Now comes the drug addict. The drug addict. Today the drug-free world. Some people want drugs, some people don't want drugs. Why do people need drugs? My question is, why do people drink drugs? Drug addiction, why? These are the reasons. Ignorance, escapism, adventure, living environment, rebellion, authority. You go to the New York. I have been to the slum areas of New York where the African Americans stay. The father takes drugs, mother takes drugs, children take drugs. So it's part and part of lifestyle. And today, if anyone is taking drugs, I would say these are any of these reasons can be attributed for a person taking drugs. Take Russia. Russia is the best example. With the fall of communism, there's too much of freedom in Russia. And according to Putin, he says, with the fall of communism, the biggest catastrophe that happened was the breakup of the Soviet Union. And he said the biggest catastrophe was all the people, because of freedom, but addicted to drugs and alcohol. Within 1 year of freedom in Russia, population 142 million, drug users 6 million, drug-related deaths within 1 year, 80,000 people died. Because once they got freedom, they didn't know how to use the freedom. Alcohol and drugs became the part and parcel of life. This is a scenario in India. Typical scenario in India. Street level. Press again, please. Last year I went to Stanley Medical College for a talk. I met the doctor. He said, within 6 months of the hospital, 6 boys who had, these pain thinners, they blew and all that, they inhaled that. 6 boys, age group of 12 to 15, died of heart attack. Because they were taking these fumes. They're very cheap form. They feel very good. At the same time, the wafer that they inhale causes death. And 8 boys died, 5 boys died of heart attack after taking this. So they're typical. It happened in Chennai. Nightclubs, we have heard in Bombay, in Calcutta, nightclub young girls have taken drugs. And in one case in Bombay, the girls had left the drink on the table and got to the toilet. When they came back, somebody had put something in the drink, spiking. And the girls fainted. So people were arrested. So the spiking is another thing happening in a lot of nightclubs. One has to be extremely careful. True case, I changed the name. The young girl. I was born in a well-placed middle-class family. I attended the best school in Indian city. I had a good academic career. I got exposed to high-profile. I was employed in a high-profile company. I had friends of all sorts. I visited nightclubs, friends, and got addicted to alcohol and drugs. I am now in a rehabilitation center. Recovery difficult. I lost my family friends. And this is a true case. I changed the name. We don't know how many more cases are known to us or unknown to us. Best case, latest time, Sanjay Dutt. In 1990, his father is Sunil Dutt and mother is Dan, well-known film stars. In 1980, he was addicted to drugs. The father was Sunil Dutt, mother Nagis. They tried to send him to all the psychologists in Bombay. Didn't work. Somebody told Sunil Dutt, send him to USA. USA got the best rehabilitation clinics. 15,000 rehabilitation clinics in USA. He was sent there. Fortunately, he was rehabilitated. He came back to Bombay. And he started his film career. And he said no to drugs. He didn't take drugs after that. Unfortunately, he got arrested in 1993. He had an AK-47 in his house which he couldn't explain. Drugs and weapons come from the same place, underworld. So his connection, today I think he's in jail. So it's a true story of a man who went up in life and came down in life. You are a railway employee, a true case. 10 years railway employee. You are extremely good in his work. Somebody introducing drugs. This drug business is a very dangerous business. You are introduced. You go on for some time, and once you get addicted, even if relapse is very high. You can give it up, but the relapse is 60% of drug addicts go back to drugs. So this man stopped for a while. Unfortunately, he couldn't proceed. He started going back, and today I lost his job, lost my job, lost my parents, lost my wife, I am today destitute. A typical case of a government employee but addicted to drugs in Calcutta. So drugs, people think that this marijuana is a soft drug. That the Americans are being medical and marijuana. It's not a soft drug. According to a psychologist, according to research programs done by Oxford University, marijuana is a drug with multiphase action on every bodily function, brain, heart, lung and the brain. It makes great people average people dumb. Cause of organic damage to the brain and any other drug abuse, proper pharmacology. So if people are under the impression that ganja is a soft drug, I'm sorry, it's a mistaken knowledge, because it causes damage to brain than any other drug of abuse, proper pharmacology. Next one. Cocaine abuse, prevalent in every society in life. It started with the music industry, fashion industry, film industry, art circle, business tycoons. Today, it's live fast, die fast. And according to US research programs, if you're a hardcore cocaine addict, 20 years hypertension, 30 years depression, 40 years cardiac arrest, 50 years symmetry. Symmetry 50 years, if you're a hardcore drug addict. And it's happening in USA, UK, very common among people of various standing. They are taking drugs who have gone to symmetry in 50 years. Michael Jackson. Everybody knows king of the pop. From the young days, even decoction of drugs. Wherever he goes, he needs drugs, but he became the king of the pop. And the story goes that wherever he goes, to Tokyo, Berlin, London, anywhere he goes, one hotel is booked. The Michael Jackson's his team occupies 45 rooms, other rooms are held vacant. The master room is occupied by Michael Jackson. The next room is occupied by Dr. Murray, cardiologist. The job of Dr. Murray is to examine him before the concert. He was paid $1 million salary. Cardiologist, well-known cardiologist in Los Angeles. He looks after him before the concert, and after the concert he looks after him. 4 years ago in Los Angeles, after the famous concert in Los Angeles, he went back and just dropped on his bed. Immediately, the first man who goes to see him was Dr. Murray. He went to see him. When he saw him, he found his pulse rate was very low. He started reviving him, giving him all the possible anesthesia. Unfortunately, he felt dead, collapsed. Police from Los Angeles police came for inquiry and asked the security guard, who is the last man who came to see Michael Jackson. He said, Dr. Murray. Dr. Murray, please come here. What did you do? Oh, he collapsed. You killed him. Manslaughter. You have killed him, you are going to charge you for murder. Today, Dr. Murray is in charge of murder, 4 years jail sentence. In his appeal to Supreme Court, he says, Michael Jackson was killed by Michael Jackson. That is not the answer to the problem. And today, this man is appealing to Supreme Court, but unfortunately he is in prison because of manslaughter. He killed the only good thing about the whole exercise is that this man is dead and gone, but his music industry is making millions of dollars. 50% has gone to his mother, 25% to his children, and 25% to charity. So that 20% charity is running to millions, helping a lot of people who are disabled in America. So some good thing came out of his death. That a lot of deserving people are being funded by the fund created by Michael Jackson. Michael Douglas, America's famous film star. America's #1 film star, Michael Douglas. You would have heard of him. All the best films of Michael Douglas. Millionaire. His son from the age of 13 years addicted to drugs. Addicted to drugs. Father won't do anything. He sent him for rehabilitation, sent him to psychologist. When he sent to a rehabilitation camp, he jumps over the wall and comes back. Father is a #1 film star in Hollywood, son addict. He couldn't help him. And finally, he stopped giving him money. The moment he stopped giving him money, this man, now he's a grown-up boy, he's 28 years. He started selling drugs to get more drugs to inject. In America, you sell drugs, get caught, you are going for courts. You'll go to prison. If you are addicted means you go to a rehabilitation center. He was selling drugs when arrested by the Maryland police, taken before the magistrate. Magistrate said, you have been selling drugs. You have committed a very serious offense in that and was sentenced to 5 years jail. Next week, Michael Douglas goes to court and tells the tells the magistrate, as a father I have failed. Sir, please keep him inside, don't put him outside. Because if he comes outside, he starts that business. But 6 months ago, what did this man do? He told his girlfriend, now he's in New York jail. This chap is in New York jail. He told his girlfriend, when you come to see me on a Sunday, bring me some cocaine powder in the toothbrush and another tube, you can put it somewhere in your underwear, somewhere beneath, and nobody check you. This girl came to the prison guard, the border security guard. The female guard suspects something wrong. She said, get your side. When she screened her, found the cocaine tube and the underwear and another found the tube in the toothbrush. In America, if a drug is taken to a prisoner, his prison sentence gets doubled. So Michael Jackson, this fellow was serving 5 years, has got 10 years. They got 10 years because in America they are very strict. If any prisoner gets drugs from outside, the sentence gets doubled. And this man, the father, he writing to Obama, please treat drug crime as a disease, not as a disease, not as a crime. Please treat it. Well, Obama can't do anything. If somebody sells drugs, you have to go to prison. So the appeal by Michael Douglas to Obama, he writing to all the congressmen, he writing to all the Hollywood stars, please campaign against drug crime. Let the drug addict be considered a disease and not as a crime. But unfortunately, America's laws are laws. True case. I want to explain true case. This girl is Lorna. She got a Cambridge first in 2002. Number 1 in Cambridge, whole of England, number 1. This photograph appeared in the London Times with the father and mother. This is Cambridge University. That evening she went to the home and she told the father, I'm number 1 in Cambridge. Daddy, I want to go to a nightclub with my friends. Can I go? Father said, please go to the nightclub, but don't take ecstasy. Don't take ecstasy. Every nightclub in London, New York, everywhere, these tablets are very common for nightclub. The father advised her, don't take. She said, I won't take. I don't know what ecstasy means. I won't take. She went to the nightclub. Next one. So nightclubs are very common in Europe. Every nightclub in London, Dublin, you can just put escape. 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 Just press 1. Just press 1. Just press up. They go to the nightclubs to have a good time. So they got 1 million people in Amsterdam, London, Brussels. Every weekend on Friday night, young people go to nightclubs. And when they go, one thing that is they take ecstasy. So this girl went to the nightclub. So friends introduced her to ecstasy. First time she took him. Next one. She took the ecstasy, whatever. Her granny called the golden girl, the lovely Lorna. But as she was dying thinking that she looked a monster. A brilliant girl, Cambridge first, after taking 2 drugs a day. This photograph appeared in all the London Times, London Telegraph appeared. Immediately the parents told the children, no more nightclubs. That normally only for 2 months. After 2 months they go back. The parents are warning the children, no more nightclubs after the photograph appeared. 6 months later, in Dublin they were serving on drug addiction. The man who convened was the chief constable from Dublin. He rang me and said, Mr. Sundar, you are talking about mafia. For a change, come and talk about addiction. So I said, okay, I'll come over. So I went to Dublin. I took this photograph. I put the same thing, and the custom officers, lawyers, university professors, all the seated there. I put this and said, a true case of a young girl, a brilliant girl who got to Cambridge first, due to a small error of judgment. She took 2 days her day. I finished my speech, and another gentleman after me got on the podium. He came to the podium and started crying. So everybody wondered why he's crying. He came to speak, he's crying. He said, the Interpol officer put the photograph of my daughter. That's why when I saw it, I was shocked, I started crying. But now you know that is my daughter. We lost our most beautiful child in our life. A brilliant girl, only child. I am the chief education officer for Yorkshire. My wife is the chief telecommunications officer for Lancashire. We have both resigned our job. We have formed a charity organization. We have funded the organization, going to all the universities and colleges, telling people to be careful of your children, because we have lost the most beautiful child in our life by drugs. And today he says, I am trying to take the message everywhere, because that's my own experience says that we must give the message to young people not to take drugs. So that's the best example of what happened. This is a girl who took her. This is a girl who took her. Don't just press that. Don't do it. Once you get hooked, it's ruin your life. There will be 1 foot in the grave, but it's too late. A friend is dead and gone. Yeah. So Michael Douglas is shouting, drug abuse is not a crime. It is a disease. It's a social problem. It's a youth lifestyle. But I would say, it's your body, it's your mind, it's your future. Prevention better than cure, better than punishment. So we have to all say, we tell the university students, college students, please say no to drugs. Because drugs can ruin somebody's life completely. So drug abuse, what can all of us do? Rotarians can do a lot. Education, very important. Healthcare, very important. But I would say education is the most important. Next one, please. The war against drugs must be won in the classroom. Yeah, go down. Last three chapters. Yeah, this one. Just last three. This one, yeah, this one. Yeah. Next one. Just go. Okay, very good. Next one. So war against drugs must be won in the classroom and not in the courtroom. So this is the best message. If Michael Douglas has told his son in the classroom, probably he did not want to take. Next one. So drugs are moving fast. Youths are moving fast today. We are living in a village. In this village, I am telling you, drugs are available in every corner of society, even in India. And youths are also moving very fast with the Western culture. And we have to protect our children. Next one. Next one. So two great presidents, President Kalam, 2005, and President Roosevelt, 1995, 45. Identical message. If there is beauty in one's character, there is harmony at home, then there is order life in nation. President Roosevelt, we cannot always build the future of our youth, but we can build the future. So two great presidents, one Indian and American, same message to the young people, how they should live their lives. Next one. India today, a generation tomorrow. Respect the law, respect the authority, respect the family values. I have a great respect for President Modi, for Prime Minister Modi. The day he won the election, he went to his mother. And I put a photograph, he's blessed by his mother. He fell at her feet. That is Indian culture, Indian family values. Very great. So, our children are the future citizens, the greatest assets of nation, they need protection. Our success and failure depends on law, respect authority, and respect family values. So, this is the message that you can give to young people. Next one. So, the future depends on all of us. If all of us can take this message, just again this. Drug-free families, drug-free schools, drug-free workplaces, drug-free communities, we are one. So there should be a commitment and conviction by all of us, whether it's a Rotarians or not. All of us, parents, teachers, everybody can take this content. And we can win this race with commitment and conviction, we have won the day. So drug abuse, addiction, the role has to be played by all of us. Next one. Next one. So thank you very much. This is my presentation.